So once you have the clicker loaded, the first thing that we like to shape is eye contact. I'd like to talk a little bit about why we shape eye contact. And one reason is because it gets your dog to check in with you, and they start to build up that behavior of looking at you when they're trying to figure out their environment. It's also a great confidence building technique, and it helps your dog connect with you. Now Jed is really good at this. And what we'll do is put our treats behind the back, and we have look, and I'll reset. So we simply capture the behavior with our bridge, reward it, and repeat.
Now this is really important. This is probably one of the most fundamental things that you need to understand when it comes to clicker training. So what you're doing is you're clicking your clicker, using it as a bridge, as a marker to mark the exact moment that your dog does the behavior that you're trying to train. And this is what we call capturing a behavior. For example, if you were training a sit, you would click at the moment your dog's butt starts to go down towards the ground. That's when you would do the click. It's not after, it's not before, it's right at the moment. So getting your timing right is a little bit tricky, but if you work on your timing and you get it perfect, the clicker is going to work kind of like magic. Because if you click at that exact right moment, your dog is going to understand that, hey, right now I did the right thing and I got a treat for it. And they connect that really, really quickly. And that is why the clicker works. It's when you mark that behavior right at the exact moment. So I wanted to take a little bit extra time to explain all that because it's the most fundamental thing that you need to get right to make clicker training work for you and your dog. Otherwise, if your timing's off, the clicker is kind of pointless. All right, back to the video. Now, it might look like I'm giving Jed a lot of treats here, but remember that these are little pea-sized portions of natural balance roll food. So it's really like a healthy kibble. You could feed natural balance roll food as a meal, and that's what it's really meant for. I was a little slow with my timing there. Good. And I have another video about those treats. Go ahead and check it out. When you're shaping behaviors, you generally don't want to be saying anything. You keep your body neutral, but sometimes you will use your hands to kind of guide the dog to do the behavior that you're looking for. Maybe have them follow a toy or something like that. I generally try not to lure with treats because then they get used to following treats instead of you. And you have to be patient. Jed is pretty good at this because we've been working on it for a few days. But at first, you'll see a dog wander around, look around, but now that we've been rewarding this behavior, you'll see it happen more and more. Now that we have the behavior happening 10 to 12 times per minute, we'll add a cue. So we actually haven't even told the dog to look at us yet, which is kind of amazing. And we use the words cue instead of command. We're not commanding the dog to do anything. We're putting a stimuli out in the environment, which is a word, and a cue can be visual. Like sometimes people will do this for look, or it can be a word. You can actually change the cues too, and we'll get into that a little later. So what we'll do now is we'll add the cue, and the way that you do that is you wait until that behavior is just about to happen, and then you say that cue right before it happens. So let's get started with that. Look. 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 Good. Look.
So that was a good example of good timing there. I saw his head moving over, and right before the eye contact landed on me, I gave the cue. Look. 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 Oops. We can also do this with resetting him. Look. A little slow in my timing there. Look. It's okay that they're sniffing around. It's really stimulating for a dog. It's one thing I really like about shaping games is the dog is free to be a dog and they're free to explore their environment. Look good. Some of the telltale signs of a dog that's been trained using shaping and clicker training is they've got soft eyes, a loose, wiggly body, a wagging tail, and they're happy in their environment. Now, one thing that you can do to make this game really fun is you can jackpot your dog with treats. So when they do a really good look, you can give them a whole handful of these tiny little treats, and they'll absolutely love it. Look at that good look. There you go. So that's a lot of fun. I like to throw the treats in grass, or just around. That way they can sniff them out, and that's also really rewarding, really stimulating for the dogs. Keep finding it. I'll just say find it, and they'll generally pick that up quickly. If you like, you can end on a jackpot, so it's kind of fun. It's a good ending cadence to the training session. Or you could do a couple more just to kind of finish out that behavior.